All right, everybody, we are going live on Facebook with our speaker chat for July. So I just want to make sure we are showing up here because here we go. I want to make that sure. Yeah, we're live. Perfect. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Today is July the 7th, 2020. I can't believe that we are halfway through the year. I don't know where the time has gone, especially considering, what the year has brought us this year. So thank you so much for joining us, Tina.
Thanks for having me, Tracy. It's great to be here.
Yes, it's so exciting to be able to feature our premier members, and you are also a global business connector. So we're going to share a little bit about that. But today our topic is 3 key steps to create the life you want to live and have a career that lights you up, even on a Monday morning or on a Tuesday afternoon.
Perfect.
We want to get it up all the time.
Yeah.
So that's great. Now, what I wanted to say to our listeners is that we will do our best to check back through the chat. We will ask you some questions along the way. In the meantime, go ahead and please let us know where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, do #replay and let us know where you're watching from. And if there's any questions you have, please go ahead and put them in there. If we miss your questions, because technology is not always our friend, we'll go back and circle back later and answer those questions for you, okay? So let's get started. I know that today we're going to talk about, really just sort of finding yourself, finding what lights you up and how you can incorporate it into your life and your career. And I would like to first start with just a little bio. I'm going to read your bio just so people can sort of know what your background is, and then we'll go forward from there. All right. So I'm making sure my screen is big enough to read this. Okay, Tina Everett is a certified career coach and certified career counselor who has a gift for guiding ambitious, career-driven professional women to thrive in their work. Whether it's designing a career path that lights you up leveling your marketability, or landing your ideal job, Tina has a proven track record of accelerating your results. Tina also hosts the podcast, The Confident Careerist, is the CEO and founder of Claim the Lead, which serves and also serves on the International Coaches Federation in Colorado chapter board. She is also one of our new global business connectors with Women Speakers Association. She is a board certified career coach, global career development facilitator, certified career counselor, and licensed mental health professional. Tina is an avid cyclist, and if you're watching her Facebook page, you'll see these amazing views and things that you have. I can't believe all the places that you've ridden with your bike. And she spends her free time in search of the best routes to ride in Colorado and the world. So thank you once again for joining me today.
Oh, you're welcome, Tracy. It's fun to be here. I love talking about how to be our best selves, how to find a career that lights, how to enjoy your days. Whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or the weekend.
Yeah, and it's so easy to, I don't know, get stuck. You and I were talking, you and I have been talking offline quite a bit, and just how easy it is to kind of get stuck in the mud. And yet when you can find that spark and you incorporate that, work-life balance, it's amazing how much more productive and happy you can be. So
the afternoon. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. We have a little bit of a delay, so I will do my best not to cut you off. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, it's like I was thinking about our conversation today, and it's Tuesday afternoon, and I was wondering, like, what's the first thing that you typically do on a Monday morning? And sometimes we can't remember, but it was just yesterday. So it's like, what's the first thing that I guess I'm asking the people listening, what's the first thing that you typically do on a Monday morning? And whatever it is, does it feel good to you? And if not, then I want to encourage you to change it and start your week off on a positive note, engaging in an action that boosts your energy and motivates you to start the week. And it's a great reminder just to myself, how do you want to start your Monday morning or Tuesday afternoon?
I love that. So when you're watching right now, go ahead and put in there how you started your Monday morning. I think I'll have to figure out what I did yesterday too. So I'll do that after. But but yeah, you're right. And if it's not serving you, what do you need to do to change it?
Yeah. I mean, the simple question is whatever you did, was it something that boosted your energy that felt good to you, or was it a downer? And then you choose. It's really important every day, but I think especially Monday mornings. Monday mornings have a rap for like, oh, Monday morning. And it's taken me many years to figure out how do I don't want to design my Monday morning so that I'm in charge of it. And I don't feel like that dread of like, oh, it's Monday morning. Um, yeah, so we'll talk more about that hopefully today.
Yes, yes. So let's start with the first question. So can we talk about how to live life more fully? What does that look like to you?
Yep. So to me, it means to focus on solutions, not the problems, and tap into what you want, not what you don't want. All right. So it's really shifting your mindset, resetting your mindset. So many people, they come to me because they feel like life has gone off the rails. You can imagine, you're heading down these train tracks, you're like a runaway train, and your life just goes off the rails. You're so busy doing things that you don't want to be doing. And it literally feels like a runaway train. And then suddenly it comes to a stop, and there's this feeling of helplessness. There's this deep level of exhaustion, and there's a loss of direction. And I really think there's just two tracks we can go down. One consists of a lot of pain and suffering, and the other brings great satisfaction and joy. And these tracks, they often intersect, and that's a choice point. So there are several actions that I took to make the best choice for me. And that was to see, obviously, I hope, greater satisfaction and joy, not more pain and suffering. And the first action was to reset my mindset. Focus on the solutions, not on the problems. Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. And this required me to make a conscious choice to get in that driver's seat of my life, take control of the wheel, start heading down a better feeling track. And this required me to do things that brought me nourishment, brought me strength, brought me joy. And I call these our resources. So think about the things in your life, like 2 or 3 things that you must do regularly to feel your best, inside and out. And once you identify just those 2 to 3 things, try to turn them into a daily practice. And this will help you reset and boost your energy. So it's a great way, again, go back to Monday morning. What are those 2 or 3 things that I know I need to do today so that I get on that better feeling track? I can really reset my mindset and start to refocus my attention on what I want, not on what I don't want. That's how you live life more fully. Simple, but not easy.
Yes, because even though there is a choice, you are making a choice. And I love that, because choice means that we control it. We can choose
Yeah.
which track we want to go in, whether we want to fall off the track. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we have that choice, but I think being able to change your mindset to realize that you do have a choice and really tapping into that can help you along this journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes we fall off the track. It's part of life, but it's about how do you get back on track, and knowing what those 2 or 3 things are that give you nourishment, give you strength, give you joy, that get you in the right mindset can really help you recover quickly so that years don't go by and you realize now you've been really off track. It's harder to get back on track when that happens.
And you're talking
Yeah.
too about habits, right? I mean, that the habits
Mhm.
of finding those 2 to 3 things and then making sure that you incorporate them into your life as you create that habit, which helps you help you stay on that track.
Yeah. I think that with all the stress going on in the world right now, it's really easy to feel like, your vision gets really narrow. You're on a really narrow track and you can't see that you have choices. And we just sort of push through and grind it out. And then our attitude or our mindset is, oh, I have to do this, or I should do this. We don't feel like we're in the driver's seat of our life. And it can just cause us to get out of sync, just not feel good. And that's when we end up being a lot more frustrated. We don't feel like we're living our life fully. And it can take a real toll on our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
So as, let's move on to the next question. How do women who tend to be perfectionists and overachievers create more balance in their life? That's such a good question.
Yeah, I think a lot of women can identify with being perfectionists and overachievers. So I would say strive for balance, not perfection. Life is not all about work, driving for results, and becoming more profitable. It's not all about that. So I encourage you to think about, know what's driving you to push hard. Sometimes we need to know, and we need to drive and push hard. I'm thinking about being on my bike, but know what's driving you to push hard. And is it because you're focused on what's not working and you're trying to make it right? Or perhaps you don't ever feel like what you do is good enough. So first, it's really that mindset again. Decide that you want to kick perfectionism to the curbside and focus on striving for more balanced actions or behaviors or habits. So again, creating a regular practice where you tap into what gives you that sense of nourishment, the strength, the joy, your resources will help you get this. And it'll help you get on a better feeling track or path. And that's the key. And I can tell you there's many days where I don't feel particularly joyful. These are the days where I'm putting in long hours, not taking adequate breaks to refuel. I get totally out of sync with myself. And I know this because I get irritable, I get hangry, and my productivity just takes a total hit, right? So again, creating that daily practice has helped me get back into sync with myself. And it's typically a method of like moving my body, clearing my mind, and grounding myself in present time. So I'm not worried about the future. I'm not caught up in the past. I'm just right here, right now, focusing on what's most important. And this again can help you start to recharge your energy. So the 3 steps, if you can hear me say it, it's like resetting your mindset, refocusing your attention, and recharging your energy. And that's what this is all about. It's simply, what are those 2 to 3 things that you know are going to allow you to feel the best? Can you do them regularly? Put them into a daily practice and practice them.
I love that. I think that, it is a mindset thing, but it's amazing, when you do, for you, cycling, for me, it may be going to the gym or going for a walk. And it's like, I don't have time to do that because I've got so many things to get done today. And yet, if you do it, you get way more done. Like, it doesn't make sense in our heads. It probably doesn't make sense that actually happens, but procrastination seems to be, narrowed when you have that balance and that way of starting your day properly.
Yeah, and so it's like getting on that path or getting on that track of feeling better, especially when we're those busy. I consider myself, and maybe you, Tracy, a busy go-getter. You have a full plate. It's essential that you really do know how to recharge your energy. Again, it's part of that daily practice, incorporating those 3 things, allow yourself to feel good or feel better. Maybe you're not always blissed out and joyful, but it's getting out of that funky place of despair, or just being hard on yourself, trying to be too perfect, right? So it could be getting those 2 to 3 things could be like getting 8 hours of quality sleep a night. Maybe it's engaging in high intensity workout, spending time in nature, eating healthy foods, maybe doing arts and crafts. Just know what it is for you. And also know that movement, taking action is key, because if you're moving along a chosen track, so a track that you're choosing, you can always course correct. But if we're not moving, we tend to remain stuck. And we're in one place, we're spinning our wheels, and we're going nowhere. So if you're not moving, it's a missed opportunity to course correct. And therefore, those symptoms, right, of feeling irritable, having pain and suffering, getting too focused on problems, getting too like narrow-minded, and losing track of the solutions that are probably right in front of us.
I never really thought of that before, that, you know, if you're not moving, you can't course correct. I guess it's almost like, it's not the same, but similar to, you know, if you fail forward, if you fail,
Yeah.
it's because you've tried something, you are moving towards something. It may not have worked out the way you want it to, but you can make those adjustments because you actually took that first step.
Yeah. And it's not about like driving so hard that you're not aware of what you're doing. Again, you're choosing the track you're on. You're connected, you're in sync with yourself. You know what you need to do to feel good. You're taking inspired action. And if it's not working, you can reevaluate it and then just change course, right? But you're not like stuck in, what is it, paralysis analysis, or paralyzed, and you're not just like going because you're afraid to slow down. I think that's really that balanced place of like, okay, I'm moving and I know where I'm going. I'm choosing the direction, and I'm also able to be adaptable and flexible. And if it's not working, I'm going to focus and change what is, and I'm going to just course correct. And so that's life. It's like, it's simple. It's so easy because we have to be in touch with what is it that we want? What is it that we truly want? What is it that we're interested in? What is it that lights us up? And sometimes those are tough questions. And it's important, I think, to have the space to think about that so that you can plan from there. Or think about going after life as an experiment. I mean, isn't that what we are all doing? Trying to figure out, well, what is it that I like? And then just being able to say, you know, I don't really like this. And that comes from like my history of doing things because I thought I should do it. So for many years, like I might play softball because it was approved of by like a family member, right? That I wanted to be loved by. And then I realized I don't really like this. So why are you doing? Does it truly interest you? Does it truly give you energy? Is it something that's enjoyable to focus on? Does it get you out of bed on a Monday morning and get you energized and excited for the day? I think that's such a cool place to be. And I'm not always there, but that's sort of my my North Star. You know, it's like, is this going to, you know, really bring me more, allow me to live my life more fully, or is it going to dull my senses over time?
Wonderful. So I'm just going to take us to the Facebook page and just see. Okay, perfect. So I see we have Donna watching from Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you so much, Donna, for joining us. And, you know, please go ahead and share with us what you do when you first get up on Monday morning. And is it something that inspires you to take action that you're happy with? Okay. And we'll hop back over here after too. So if we move into our next question, what's the secret to creating a career path that leads to a rewarding future? Because we're talking about our life balance, but how does that roll into creating that, you know, ultimate career path?
Again, it's what brings you joy in life so that the career you choose lights you up on any day of the week. And of all the emotions, joy has the highest energy vibration. So it has the potential to remove obstacles and attract more of what you want and what you need. So as a career development coach, I take my clients through a process where I really help them do some self-excavation, where they really get clarity around what are they truly passionate about, what are they interested in, what are the causes that they get fired up about, what are the positive parts of their personality, their character strengths, what are their skills that they develop that they are not.
Oh, I think I might have lost you for a moment there, Tina. So I'm not sure if you can hear me, but you're stalled. We have lost Tina. Tina, we've lost you. I think what we'll do is we are going to, oh, there you are back. Let's
Oh,
try again. We lost you.
oh, I know. I went away and I thought, I don't know if I don't know what you heard.
Yeah, so maybe let's get you to start again with that question. Let me we're talking about the secret to finding that perfect career path that leads to a rewarding future, and you had talked about it, you know, that joy being the that bringing that extra energy. It has that extra energy vibration that can help you achieve things that maybe you didn't think you could, but you have that joy, and then I'll let you go from there.
Yeah, and so the most important thing about that is when you're in that vibration of joy, when you're in that higher place, it will naturally remove obstacles. It'll direct you more to what you truly want and what you need. And again, it puts your whole perspective in, you know, what's working, what's the solution, not so bogged down in the weight of the world and the problems. So yes, we want to solve problems, but we need to come at it from that perspective. So as a career development coach, to help people get on a track, a career track that lights them up, there's a lot of things we do to help them do that self-excavation. So getting them in touch with what are they passionate about? What are the causes that fire them up? Like what pisses them off? What interests do they have? What are the positive parts of their personality, their inner strengths that when expressing, they feel authentic, they can flourish. So all these things are important, just as important as your skills that you've developed over time, your professional skills and how they transfer, the skills that you're good at, you're proficient at, but do they bring you joy? Are they enjoyable? So many of us have probably done things we're good at, but we didn't enjoy it.
Mm.
And that will lead you down a dead end track. That's going to lead you to a lot of pain and suffering. I know because I've been there. So it's like, you know, all these things make you who you are so that you're going down your career track, you're in the driver's seat. And if things aren't feeling good, then you craft it so it does feel good and you change course, right? You're not stuck spinning your wheels. And if you go off track, no worries. You know how to get back on track. You don't have to stay there spinning your wheels for years. You don't have to stay there to the point where you're exhausted to the bone and lost and burned out. And if you have, which I have, there's a recovery, there's a way out of it. So I think the good news is that wherever you're at, you know, with your sense of satisfaction in your life and in your career, you're always in a place to choose something better. Mm. Even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
Well, it's like you're always growing, but with that growing might be some growing pains along the way, right? But the goal, or
exactly.
you know?
Yeah. We have to like stretch ourselves, and then we know that we're growing, because it does get uncomfortable, but then it gets better because we're not staying in this place of resistance. You know, I like to tell my clients, it's like, are you comfortably uncomfortable? Like we can get comfortable in the discomfort because somehow it's safer than kind of going on that limb and trying something new. Some people have a hard time with change and a hard time with taking risks. And that's something that I've never really, I've just lived my life that way. And I'm not like a daredevil or dangerous, but I like change. It keeps me on my toes. I think it's helped me build resilience, and I take risks. I trust my gut, and I think now I'm wiser as I've gotten older because I know how to know sooner than later whether or not I'm on the wrong track or not. You know, is this going to lead to a dead end road? And if it does, how can I course correct rather than just sort of being asleep at the wheel, basically.
I love all these writing connotations, but they're so true, right? It's just so valuable to kind of put things in that perspective.
Yeah.
So if somebody was, say they are feeling stuck and they don't know what to do to move forward, where would you suggest that they start? What should they do?
So you're stuck in that muck, right? You feel despair, kind of helpless, hopeless. You don't know where you want to go. And you're probably more aware of what you don't want and what's not working than what you do want. So the first thing is to target what you want, not what you don't want. So that requires a bit of checking in with yourself and how are you feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally. Take the time to develop that practice that incorporates a few of the things that you know you need to do on a regularly to feel your best. Get moving just one little step at a time. So you know you have choice and you know you can course correct. All of a sudden your vision expands. This will increase your productivity. It'll also prevent you from going off the rails. And if you do, like I've mentioned earlier, you'll be able to get right back on track in no time. So it's not bad to be stuck. It's when we stay stuck.
Mm.
So your resources, the things that give you nourishment and strength, are key. Those are the things that start to lift you out of that funk. And sometimes that's an indication that we're out of sync, right? I don't want to frame it as a bad thing. It's when we stay there. We stay there too long that it starts to negatively impact our sense of life fulfillment when we're not flourishing and we start to have symptoms of not being well. That's where we need to take a look at, what are the things we need to feel a little bit better? How can I start moving a little bit and start taking some action?
So at that point, it's our choice to get unstuck. How that looks and what we're going to do, obviously, is going to be different for everyone, but you still have to choose to get unstuck.
Yeah, I think it's the first step is like accepting and being aware that you're stuck.
Mm.
If you go, oh, I'm not stuck, you're resisting it. You're resisting the resistance and you stay stuck.
Yeah.
And sometimes in my life, I've chosen to stay stuck. I'm stubborn. And, that served me, I guess, at the time. Maybe it held me back a little bit, but who knows? It could have been good reason. Maybe I needed to move a little bit slower down that track. So it's really just accepting where you are and knowing what you want. What's that? What are you going after? And find a way to resource yourself to start moving in that direction.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what is the single most important thing someone can do today to ensure long-term career satisfaction and success?
I would say that every 3 to 6 months, perform a career check-in with yourself. And this is a way that you evaluate your satisfaction and your success levels. And there are 5 powerful questions that I ask during this check-in that'll help you reset your mindset and inspire positive change. So I'll share the first one. It's a big one. And that first powerful question to help you do that career check-in is, what are you no longer willing to tolerate in your life, in your work, and in your relationships? So these are the things that you typically complain about, that you resist, and that drain your energy. What are you no longer willing to tolerate? That's the first one. And if we have time, I can just share the other ones. I wouldn't expect anyone to jot these down in a moment. These take a while to answer. They're pretty big questions. But when you ask them every 3 to 6 months, they can help you determine, where am I at? Am I on track? Am I in sync? Or have I gone off? What are the things that you feel are going well for you right now? What's working? What would make things even better for you? This is the third question. Where do you want to even be in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now? And what problems need solving to get there? So 5 powerful questions every 3 to 6 months. Just do a career check-in. How are you doing? Because if you don't check in, or even more often than that, it's amazing how, oh my gosh, a year went by, I didn't reach my goals, and I'm not feeling so great. And then we have New Year's resolutions, which I don't do, but it's like, oh, we try to make too many changes at once.
Yeah. That checking in is important. It's whether you're a goal setter or not, but just really understanding where you're at that moment. And you're right. I mean, we know time it feels like it's moving so fast. I mean, it may not, it's probably moving the same. It's just moving the same as it always has, but it feels like it's moving so fast. So if you can, I guess you would schedule these check-ins with yourself, right? Put it on your calendar, make sure you actually do it, because I think the value of it, and just you're mentioning before, like understanding that you're stuck, accepting that you're stuck right now. Well, if you don't do a check-in, you might not know that you're stuck.
Yeah. You really might not know you're stuck. And sometimes when we're stuck, we're too close to it.
Mm.
Keep trying to square a peg into a round hole, or we are suffering, we're feeling highly anxious, or maybe we're feeling really down, or we have a lot of negative thinking. All those things that, we would put in the bucket of, I don't want any more of this. This doesn't allow me to flourish. It's part of life, but it's a sign that, we can probably do something to feel better, to enjoy life more. And, this is not something that I have mastered. This is just something that I've realized that if I can just come back to this foundation, I know I'll be on track, because there were many, many years that I was so off track and didn't know it. And I would get caught in blaming other people or other situations. And that puts you in that kind of victim place where you're not in the driver's seat. You're not claiming the lead in your life.
Mm.
And so, a lot of people will come to me, they're so off the rails, they're so stuck in resistance. And it really has to start with you and really being aware of where you're at and what do you want to do about it? How can you be empowered to take the wheel and really, get in that driver's seat and figure it out where you want to go and get support. So, some of the takeaways, just to wrap up, it's like, identify again 2 to 3 things you need to do regularly to feel your best. Create a daily practice that you can stick to for a minimum of 4 days a week. I didn't mention this one, but make a list of 20 things that give you nourishment, strength, and joy. 20 things. It could be taking a hot shower, cold shower. It's like 100 degrees here in Denver today. Getting out in nature, riding your bike, spending time with friends, cooking a great meal, having a glass of wine, going on a trip, walking barefoot in the grass, whatever it is. These things, they're simple. They don't have to be huge, but they give you a sense of nourishment and strength and joy and ground you in present time. Those are your resources. Perform a career check-in every 3 months, put it on your calendar. Take inspired action, create a plan for positive change. Get support, right? Don't attempt to go at your dreams alone. We all need to take responsibility for how we want to live our life. And we all certainly benefit from receiving encouragement and accountability, right? We need to take responsibility and we need support to be accountable for living our best life. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
Well, thank you for sharing how people can claim the lead in their life and their career. How would people be able to connect with you? Website is best?
Yeah, I think probably my website is best, tinaeverett.com. And I have a lot of resources on my website. And of course, my podcast is there, The Confident Careerist. And I try to share a lot of stuff that's relevant from my life and my client's life. There's nothing better than, I think, just being transparent about the joys that we have and the struggles that we all go through to help inspire and motivate us for change. I think that change is a constant into growing, expanding, and improving our lives. And we never really get there. Like on my bike, I get to the top of a mountain, I get to the end of a ride, and then I rest and I recover. And that's really important because I'm going to get up and go do it all again. And it's not always easy. But if I didn't do that, my life wouldn't be as enriched. And it's the same in my career, or all areas of my life, really. So yeah, tinaeverett.com.
Wonderful. And we'll put that in the link, or we'll put that in the comments below. So thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I always love talking to you. I could talk to you for hours, and we probably will talk hours after this. But and thank you everyone who is watching either right now or on replay. Please go ahead and, as an exercise for you, Tina had mentioned, like, write down those 20 things that really fill you up, that provide you with that joy, that are your resources. But let's not put 20 in the comments. Let's maybe put your top 5. Like, let's see what people are doing, because sometimes I think we overthink it, and we think that we should be putting down these crazy, amazing things, but amazing can be, a nice dinner out. It can be, weeding in your garden. It can, whatever it is that fires you up, that provides you with that opportunity to kind of regroup and refresh and grow, is so important. So we would love for you to share that with us in here. And Tina, I am sure, will come back through and respond to any comments that you might have as well.
I will. Awesome. Thanks,
Wonderful.
Tracy.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us again. We'll talk to you next week, next month. I told you it goes fast. Bye, everyone.